Hello, and I hope you're doing well. On this video we're going to take a look at a bidet, and this is from Bidet King. And just to show you, here's the part number: BKC-EW elongated white bidet. So let's open the box up first, and it came on this box with the labels on it. Right away on the top of the box, inside, it gives you this. Get started with the QR code. Here on the very top you have this booklet, Bidet King crown, and again you have a QR code on Instagram on the left, TikTok on the right, and you get a chance to get 2 free filters. Here's a table of contents, and then it gives you safety information, features, party mode, parts that are included, control panel, product installation, remote installation, so on and so forth. And here also you have a quick start guide. I think the remote is in here, so let me take it out. And the remote looks pretty cool. It has a film on top. I'm not going to take it off until I'm done installing it. But on the other side you have 2-sided tape, and here you need some batteries. I'm not sure if it's included or not, but you need some batteries in here. And then you mount this on the wall. Then you can put the remote on, or perhaps take it off whenever you need it. And you have all the controls here. You have the user, auto memory, water temperature, eco mode, nozzle clean, seat temperature, night light, user number 2, rear plus, stop, front, dry, and then you have nozzle position, and then here you have a spray pressure and dry temp, and then you have LEDs down here too. So you have plenty of LEDs. The remote looks nice. Then you have soft press buttons. So let's continue. Here you have a razor blade. It looks like somebody just forgot it inside, so that's a free blade. So let me take this out of this box, and while I'm taking this out, on this side of the box there are more things to take off. On that bag you have 3 AA batteries. Then you have the bidet hose. And then we have 2 of these. You have 1 bolt, a washer, and an anchor, and this is made out of rubber. And it's soft here, it's hard here. And so you have 2 of those. And then you have a T-valve with a washer inside, mounting bracket, deodorizing cover. Then you have a deodorizing filter, and lastly you have these 2 brackets. And here you have the bidet. Then you have the Bidet King right here. Here there's a cap, and this is probably where the water is going to go in. And if you open this up, on the other side of the seat it gives you warnings or precautions, so feel free to read them whenever you get a chance or before you use it. And this opens up too. As for the installation, I'm gonna install it on this toilet so you can see how it gets installed. Even though this is a round toilet and the one that I have is longer because it's for another bathroom. But just for this video, I'm going to show you how to install it here. The first step would be to shut off the water. So turn off the water by closing the valve. And then go ahead and flush the toilet. And then the next step would be to take the seat off. And also, once I'm done taking the seat off, what I'm gonna do next is unplug the hose from up here, and make sure you have a little bucket or something down here because there is some water in the tank that's gonna drain off. If you don't want the water to drip this way, then perhaps you wanna take this off. Perhaps a container to take some of the water out, and then a towel to dry this off. So now, I did grab a towel and dry this. And I took off the seat. And it only took the 2 screws that were up here with the bolts on the other side. And all I did is use a Phillips screwdriver. And now you can take off this. You can probably take it off by hand. And there might be some drips because there is probably water here, but it's not gonna be a lot because I cleaned the other side. So those drips I can clean easily on the floor. So there. So now this is off. Now you can go ahead and grab this T-valve, and this T-valve is going to be right here. And I'm just gonna put it there for now. I'm not gonna tighten it because I wanna know where this is going, either this way, this way. You're gonna put this on the bottom right here. Before I do that, let me tighten it up perhaps right here. And this you can tighten it with your hand, perhaps with a tool, but not too tight because it has a rubber. So with some pressure, water's not gonna come out because the rubber seal is gonna be right between. Then this has a rubber seal too. So first you gotta tighten the one up here because you don't want this to be left on the other side. And I think I already put a lot of pressure on here. And I think this is tight enough. So let me tighten this up. And now you can grab this hose and we're gonna put one end back there and the other end to the bidet. You can put it either way, it's really up to you. And make sure that this is tight. And for the first few days, keep an eye on it. Just make sure that there's no drip in here. If there is, then perhaps you wanna tighten it a little bit depending on where it's dripping. For right now, I'm just gonna use a little bit of the wrench and tighten everything up. But it's probably better if you tighten this first, then perhaps this one, and then lastly this one. The next thing would be to put this right here because you're gonna slide the seat here. And this is going down like that. And just to let you know, is this part, you're gonna take the screw off as well as the washer. Once you do that, you end up with this. To put the rubber anchors in there faster, you can wet them so they can get in there smoothly. And then just keep in mind, your toilet might be a little bit wider because it's the longer one. This is the round one. This goes next. This holds this entire part down. And you can put it only one way, which is like this, because if you put it the other way, it kind of doesn't lock, and if you put it the other way, it locks into place. And now you're gonna put the screw with the washer in here, and you're gonna go ahead and screw this down. You're gonna do that on the other side too. Now on the bidet, there's a little compartment in the back of it. You're gonna put this in there. And then put the door here. Like that. What I would do probably first is put the bidet into place to see if it fits well back here. Once you have the right fit, then you can adjust this to either be here like it is right now, perhaps in the middle, perhaps back there. For me, I'm just gonna leave it there for right now because this bidet is going to another washroom anyway. But in this case, now that if you have it ready, now you can slide the bidet into its place. So let's put the bidet here, and then you're gonna slide it in. There, now it's sitting into its place. Now on its side, it has this opening where you're gonna put the other end of this hose, which is this one, and make sure that you also have a rubber washer on this one as well as all the other ones, and tighten it up, not a lot but enough that you don't have any water dripping from here too. When I was tying this, I realized that I can move this a little bit so I can tighten it easier. I tried tightening it like this, but it's very tight, so make sure that you can move it so you can make it tighter. Now that you have tightened everything from here to the other hoses, then you can go ahead and open the water and look for leaks, and if there's none, then you should be okay. I'm opening the water slowly, and it doesn't seem like there's any leaks so far. And like I said earlier, keep an eye on it for a few days. Okay, so now I got water coming in here, and this is installed. Now there's a power cable on the other side right here, and on this bathroom for this video I'm just gonna plug it up here. And perhaps this is not ideal to have this cable like that, so I'm gonna have an electrician take the outlet out, run a line that runs down here, and perhaps around here I'm gonna have the cable go in there, perhaps put an outlet out down here so I can plug it in so it's not too obvious as it is right now. And if the stud is on that side, perhaps I can get the wire closer, because if the stud is on this side, it's harder for the electrician to make a hole on the stud to get the wire on this side. But I mean, regardless of, I'll ask him to run the wire, perhaps get it closer, and make sure that you have one of these GFI approved outlets just in case it gets wet. And follow your codes of your city or your town. Sometimes they don't let you have the outlets too far down. Perhaps there's a minimum height. Your electrician will know that. Now you can start pressing the buttons on the right side of the bidet to test it out. And also you can go ahead and install the remote. So depending on where it's going to be, so if I'm gonna put it per se right here, you're gonna take this, it's a double-sided tape, take it off, put it on your wall, and then slide this out so you can put batteries in here. And before you put this on the wall, make sure that you clean the wall. You might want to clean it with some alcohol to get some of that grease off, and then put this on. Let it sit there for a minute or two before you put the remote on. Now, for the instructions, if you're going to put the batteries on the remote, make sure that you turn on the bidet and the remote within 5 minutes so they can pair with one another. I plugged in the bidet, but the switch is not on, so I'm going to switch it on and also put the battery on here so the bidet and the remote can pair with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it here. And then put the battery on here. Here's the remote. And I think it did something. Let me open this up. And I like that it has the LED lights as well as this. Of course, at night you're not gonna know what's what. Once you get familiarized with this, then you'll know what to press. Now you can go ahead and play around with it. Let's say we wanna press the night light. And if I press it again, one more time. Now it's off. So now if I press it more than a few seconds, that's what it does. It soft closes. And now it turned off. But if I want to turn on the light, so not only this is helpful because it gives you light, the remote, also the bidet, so you probably don't have to turn all the lights on at night. So pressing the fan button, and it's warm. And if you want to stop any function, just press the middle button. As for the nozzle, if you want to bring it out, let's say you want to wash front. And then you can play around with the nozzle, and I can feel the water that's warm. So now let me go ahead and turn on the rear. And then you can position the nozzle with the remote further. And if you want to do the front, It's not as strong as the rear. So if I want to do rear 1, that's 1. And if I want to do rear plus, and if I want to do the fan right after, I can feel the fan right here. Not only can you put the nozzle forward or back a little, you could also control the pressure. This is as low as it goes. And that's as high as it goes. And then this will put the nozzle back or forward. And then you can save it. You have user 1 over here and user 2 on the other side, and you could always press stop. So you can customize it in different ways. You could put the nozzle further away, closer. You could put less pressure or more pressure. You can also control the temperature of the water. And you have front, rear, rear plus, and you also have the dry or the fan. This will always stop whatever it's doing. You have user here, user there. You have the light, and then you have eco mode, auto wash and dry. You also have nozzle cleaner and seat temperature. And these smaller lights will help you know if it's at the lower temperature or the highest. Same with these other ones. Not only does it light up so you know what buttons you're using once you get familiar with the remote, it also might be helpful as a night light. So I hope this video helps you in any way. Thank you for watching and enjoy.